Hey, 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 everybody. Thank you again for joining in Synoria's Best Kept Secret. And today I have with me Miss Cheryl Polote Williamson. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello there. How are you? Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm super excited to be with you.
Yes, and I'm super excited to have you. I just want to applaud you. I mean, I was going through, some of your bio and the information, and you do so many things. And the fact that you said you started this journey at a phase in life where most women will dare to dream. What prompted you, or what commanded you to go in that direction?
I made a personal decision that I did not want to leave this earth without fulfilling my purpose. It's important to me. I love being wife of and mother of, but I knew that God had more for me. So when I decided to pursue that, the dreams in my heart started coming to fruition. And I am a person that believes that it's never too late to be great. So though I am going to be 59 this year, I believe that I have accomplished, thank you, more in 10 years than many people accomplish in a lifetime. And it's simply because I made a conscious decision, like I said, that it's never too late to be great. And so that's my message. That's what I'm sticking to. And that's for everybody. It is never too late to be great. As long as you're breathing, it's never too late to be great.
Yes, ma'am. Well, you're definitely doing great things. And 59, where? I'm gonna
Thank
have to check that ID, that birth certificate, because I don't believe
you.
that.
You're so sweet. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. But you are very beautiful. And it not only shows on the outside. I am also, like I said, I'm very excited to speak with you just because of the many things and the a variety of industries that you encompass. So tell us a little bit about your journey. I know you said you kind of, decided later on, and you
Okay.
complete or fulfill your purpose. Was there anything, like one specific situation that set that off?
I went into fitness clubs with my husband. We purchased 5 title box and club fitness centers. And when we opened the first one, my husband got diagnosed with cancer. And so I went ahead and opened the facility without him while he did his treatment and all of those things. And during that process, unfortunately, I realized that this was not the calling on my life. This is not what I was asked to do. I love people and all of that, but this was not that. And so, as a result of my husband with cancer, my mother-in-law dying from cancer, and then I got diagnosed with supraventricular tachycardia, which is a heart condition, I felt in a very low place, and all of this going on at the same time. So I started speaking words of affirmation over myself, over my family, over my children. And so thousands of people started getting in contact with me because I would put them out on social media. And so one day I was in the shower and the Holy Spirit said, "It's time for you to write a book." And I'm like, "What book?" And he said, "Go on social media and pull off all the affirmations that I gave you, and that's the book." So I did an affirmations book, and it kind of morphed into so many other things. I did an anthology with Nikki Woods, and then I realized, I said, okay, everybody has a story. So then I started getting together a group of people to do an anthology. So my first anthology was Soul Talk. We had 20 people, and it went from there. It went from anthologies. So now I have 16 anthologies.
Wow.
And 19 books in total. So it went from anthologies to stage plays, from stage plays to film. Now, what I want to say to you about the film, and I want people to hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
I had no film experience whatsoever. I just believed that I could do it.
Yeah.
So this is why people tell you how important relationships are. I
Right.
have relationships with people in the film industry who I have been in contact my whole life. And
Right.
that I'm saying that is because so many people want to inbox you who have no relationship, have no skin in the game, but they expect you to drop their whole life and help you. But right? But you've never been in a relationship with them. You never kept in touch with them. So I kept in touch with this particular person, and I agreed to serve, be a production assistant, which I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
But I looked it up, and it was serving coffee and all of this. And she said, "Are you sure you will want to do this?" Because now keep in mind, I own 2 thriving companies.
Right.
So they didn't think
You're
I was
already a boss in your own right. So it's like, what? You want to come along and do this?
exactly.
Like you said, the spirit led you. So
Exactly. So they couldn't believe that I would leave my corporations, and serve coffee. So I did it, and I did a very good job. I did so well that when the film needed money, which they knew I was able to do that too, I was able to help raise the money that the film needed. So I went from production assistant to executive producer of the very first film.
wow. See, and that just shows your work ethic, which I mean, look, like you said, it opened up so many different areas and arenas, the book, the movies. You just have so many wonderful things that have occurred. Let me ask you this. What is some advice that you would give to someone who is probably trying to get into the film industry, or they have that hesitation, like you said, you had this idea like, hey, this isn't for me, God has greater. What do you think your advice would be to someone to open their because you have to open your mind up to what is out there or what your purpose may be?
So I want to be clear. So do you mean specifically on film or just in business in general?
It's in business in general because you have so many areas that you cover.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. You have to be willing to show up. You have to show up in the rooms where you don't know anybody. Show up not thinking that you have to have all the answers. That's number 1. Yeah. Number 2, stop asking everybody for their opinion, because everybody can tell you every reason that it will never happen for you, and especially people who are doing nothing.
Right.
You continue doing nothing with them.
You can't see me, but I'm grabbing my abdominal right now because it struck me. And yes, okay, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can't get advice from people or expect people to be cheering for you if they don't even have the capacity to cheer for themselves. The third thing is you have to have a teachable spirit. Right. You cannot walk in thinking that you know everything. Nobody knows everything.
Right.
So you have to come in wanting to learn. The fourth thing is be ready and stop getting ready. What do I mean by that?
Yes.
That means that if you say that you're in business, you should have a business email address. Business email address shouldn't be some plaything. And then when the banks email you, it's like go, blah, blah, blah. They're looking at that. So when you ask people to bring you to the table, you got to be ready to eat when you get to the table. That means business bank account, business website, an example of your work. Who have you done this for before? There's so many people that say, oh, Cheryl, I want to get into the film industry. And I'm like, well, tell me some of the things that you've done. Email it to me. Well, I don't have anything ready. Well, don't call me.
Until you're ready. Listen.
Until you're ready.
Preaching to your resume. You are preaching today. Yes, ma'am. And it's the truth, because, and that's one of my things. I'm one of those people, if I haven't done at least some effort or put some type of work into it, no, I'm not going to contact you. No, I don't want to reach out, because like you said, you never know when you're presenting yourself to you or whomever else, if they're able to allow you a different position. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm able to be invited along for this fantastic journey. But if you're not ready or you can't present yourself in that magnitude, then why would I even want you to come along?
And that's a fact, because people don't anybody who has ever done anything to help me, they will tell you, oh, she was ready.
Yeah.
She had this ready, her accounts were in order. It's like when you do an event and you say that you're a nonprofit, but you can't prove that you got a 501c3.
Right.
but you telling people to give to your nonprofit. So you have to be ready. You have to be able to show your work. And that's so important. And especially now, you have to be, if you're asking for something, it's like when somebody says, oh, I want you to mentor me.
Right.
This is the part that people miss in mentorship. If you've not seated, served, or done anything, stop expecting people to want to mentor you, but you've done nothing. You've not shared a post. You've not purchased a copy of a book. You've not done an event, because mentorship is time.
Right.
And time equates to money.
Right.
I make more money, but I can't make more time.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mentor someone who is not willing, one, to do the work. Number two, is not prepared for the mentorship, which means while I'm mentoring you and you say, oh, I want to do speaking in Qatar. And I said, oh, you know what? I'm traveling to Qatar. You go with me. And your next thing is, well, I can't go because I don't have a passport. Well, how do you want to be a global speaker with no passport?
With no passport.
Global
Yeah.
speakers have passports. Local speakers have driver's license.
Right. There you go. And you trying to, like you said, we're trying to go far. We're trying to broaden your horizons, not restrict you. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So I just teach people, I want you to be ready. Right. So when you go to somebody and ask them to do business with you, take more than Cash App. Yeah. That's the part. You cannot get a government contract talking about you only take Cash App. Mm-hmm. You can. And people get upset when I say that, but I can tell you, I personally do not do business with people who only take Cash App. Because I don't want to deal with the caterer that only takes cash. It's no recourse.
Gotcha. Yes. Setting the standard, setting a tone.
Yes. So I like to set people up for success. So my clients, I talk to them. I'm like, these are the things that you have to have in place in order for people to want to do business with you. One, you cannot have a website that's always under construction or coming soon.
True.
I'm like, when are you coming? When is the website coming? You check back 6 months from now and it's still coming. Nobody wants to do business with somebody whose website is coming soon.
Yeah, it's time to arrive. Yes,
it's time to arrive. The second thing, you need a tax ID number, because that's what they're going to ask you for. Any business that I do, they're like, Cheryl, we need an EIN, we need this, we need that. And if you can't produce it, they will not produce you a check. Right. Because they don't regard your business as legitimate. They think there's some flash in the pan. And we don't want to come across like that. That's why you heard me say, be ready and stop getting ready. Yes, if you want to do business, look up the basics of doing business. These days, you have to have some type of social media presence, because I can tell you, anybody who hires me for anything, one of the first things they have said to me is, oh, I saw your social media, because I'll ask, well, how did you select me for this brand deal or sponsorship? Right. Oh, we went to your social media. We studied you. Perfect example. That's how I got selected to be on the panel with Michelle Obama. Right. They studied my social media for months before they asked me to be on the panel. So they knew, that it was legitimate, that I made good sense, etc. So I just want to encourage everybody and anybody, if you're in business or want to be in business, be ready and stop getting ready.
Yes, ma'am. Structure it correctly, be professional, have that presence, have that communication, that interaction, show that you are about your business.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, speaking of your multiple businesses, I know that you have your podcast and you're now getting ready for season 2. So how excited are you about that? Tell me a little bit about, that.
Sister, I am thrilled. I am thrilled. My team and I, we traveled to Atlanta. We take 9 episodes for season 2. I'm thrilled about it because, again, when you're ready and you follow the lead of the Holy Spirit, about 2 months ago, I reached out to Terry Bond and I said, Terry, I want you to be a part of my season 2 podcast. Well, I had no idea when I asked her that she had a new series that was going to hit Netflix on May 22nd that Tyler Perry actually purchased from her.
Look at
So,
God.
look at God. So I filmed, she's my very first guest, and Terry is a personal friend of mine. So it was just like we reunited. We text and everything, but that was our first time seeing each other probably since maybe like 3 years in person.
You guys
So
been working. You girls been working.
yeah, so it was just a love fest. The
Yes.
conversation was great. And so we've been cross promoting it. So she posted the podcast on her page, and tens of thousands of people have liked, shared, and commented. So I know it's going to be great. I have 8 other amazing guests that are going to be on there from all walks of life. And I have my first male guest. I thought I would only have women on the podcast, but the Holy Spirit told me to have a man, and specifically an African-American man, come on and talk about the importance of getting your mental health checked. And also he's sharing his story about prostate cancer. And it's actually my husband. So this is our first time.
Yeah, that's a blessing. I love that you guys are going to be able to work together and share that knowledge, as well as really bring across an important message, because I think something, they say it's taboo in the African American community.
Absolutely, it is.
But especially among men, it's very rare that you hear men talk about mental health and even physical health, or I know a lot of men, my father included, hates to go to the doctor still, and it's like, you have to check on you. You have to make sure you're in good order. If you're not working, how are you going to be here and do what you need to do and be here for others? So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you guys are opening up that topic.
So we're super excited about that. So a new show will drop every 2 weeks, and then we will shoot we'll shoot season 3 in LA. And I've already gotten some amazing yes to shoot the podcast. People are just gonna be they won't be shocked, because they know I believe whatever God says, he's going to bring the past. So people won't be shocked when they find out who the guests are. But the podcast did very well in its first season, which is why we went to season 2 and have already started slotting people for season 3. And it's ageless, fearless, and unscripted. And the reason that was so important is what I told you at the beginning of the show. I'm in a state, in an era of my life where I'm ageless. I've been fearless for a long time. And the reason that I did it as unscripted is because the Lord told me, you don't have to be in a studio. I may send you out on a farm. I may send you to a winery. I may send you to a restaurant. And I don't want people to feel like every time you do this show, they need to look for you in a studio. So we're really excited about the attention that it's been getting. And so I'm thrilled, and that has led to other opportunities from the podcast, from people that I've met on the podcast who have then opened doors for me. I'm working on 3 film projects right now as a result of people, and able to employ people. That's my big thing, is able to employ women, specifically African-American women, who gave up their careers or did not feel like they had the opportunity to live out their dreams. So I specifically look for women 45 and up to become a part of my corporations.
Oh, wow. That is a wonderful thing, because it's going back to your original message and the whole reason why you even started to begin with, and to give back to those women who feel like they might be in that position and don't have a way out, or don't have the resources or those connections. That, like you said, it opens up so many more pathways and doorways, and I applaud that as well. I mean, listen, you don't understand. I'm serious. It's just like, I love to see, of course, us doing our thing, but women of color empower and empowering. It's just, it's a beautiful thing. And especially when we really take the time to acknowledge our communities, because we know some people who do escape and they don't look back. But the fact that you're able to, give a helping hand that's just a blessing all in itself. So kudos to you for that.
I appreciate that. I just don't believe in gatekeeping. And
Mm,
people ask me all the time, they're like, aren't you afraid that if you keep giving out all this information, that people are going to take your ideas, they're going to do this? I can honestly sit here with a clear heart and conscience and say to you, I don't mind sharing anything. I wouldn't even say I don't mind. I get the information so I can share it, because this is what I know for sure. There is nothing that has been promised to me that anybody can take from
take
me.
away. Amen. Yeah.
Whatever God has promised me, whatever book deals, whatever, blah, 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 they're mine. So I can tell other people, this is how you get a book deal. This is how you get to the table. This is how you sell 75,000 books. This is how you get to be a part of attending all of these events that people don't know about. I share that because when I get
For
to
you, it's for you.
absolutely, and I want to die empty. See, that's my thing. At
Mhm.
59, I have more time behind me than I do ahead of me. So I'm not going to waste my time being petty, trying to gatekeep and keep people away. I want people to be able to say about me, not when I'm dying, but now while I'm living. Thank you so much for opening that door for me. Thank you for hiring my wife. Thank you for bringing my kids along. I want to hear all of that while I can hear it.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't want to be laying there and they have to hear it from my family. So I live life big. I live life like there is no tomorrow, because if we all of us started living like that, we wouldn't die with our dreams in our heart. We would realize that all we have right now is this moment. There
Yeah.
is no such thing as I'll do it tomorrow. That's arrogant. You don't even know if you're going to be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So
Yeah.
you got to live all full out today. It's all we have. So every night when I go to sleep, whatever I was supposed to do for that day, I'm doing it. When people say, oh my gosh, you did, I saw where you did like 6 things. You were in Atlanta this morning, in Chicago tonight. Trust me when I tell you, when they call my name at the end of time, I will meet my maker empty. I will have given everything that I was supposed to give and receive in this life. So I'll be like, baby, don't cry for me, because I've lived a big life.
A
And I
full life.
so much
Yes.
more,
Yes.
so much more ahead, and so many people to help in the process.
Oh my goodness, that is so inspiring because I feel that way. And sometimes, and I don't know if you have ever felt this way, but sometimes when you are in your space and God has really taken over and allowed you to do certain things, and like you said, you want to bring others along for the ride, but sometimes they're not as receiving or as open or as
Ready.
conscious of what might be, and they try to dim your light. They
Yes.
try to knock you down a peg. You know what I mean? And it just makes me so happy to hear you say this, because it lets me know that, like it gets greater later. Continue on, keep going through, because there's light at the end of that tunnel. You have to see it within yourself in order for anybody else to see it. And so the fact that you are saying, hey, carpe diem, seize those
Yes.
moments.
Seize the day.
Yes, you have to. Because if you let your life go to waste or let your dreams wither away, it's over now. You can't do anything about it. So live full. And like you said, when you're rested, you have emptied out everything. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I want to ask you, because you also have, your award ceremonies that you have. What made you? I guess. Well, we know you like to inspire. Um, what brought that about for you, as far as being able to just bring all the culmination of things together and award others?
So the magazine is Cheryl Magazine. So it started off, it was just the magazine.
Okay.
And so the Lord told me, he said, women need to have a place to rest and come together. So from the magazine came the Cheryl Magazine C-Suite Retreat. So I take 30 women away in December every year for the past 3 years.
Okay.
And on one of those trips, The very first one, actually, I heard the Lord say so clearly, you need to do something to recognize women. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? And he said, the magazine is inspiration for the everyday woman. So I want you to have an award where you give an award to women who are inspiring others globally. So when I came back that December, I got in touch with my event planner and I said, hey, for Women's History Month, I want to do the Cheryl Magazine Women of Influence Awards Luncheon. So in 90 days, we planned and executed and sold out 250 seats and honored 7 women.
Oh, wow.
That next year, we sold out 377 seats and we honored 14 women. This past year, we sold out 657 seats and we honored 16 women.
Listen, just increase, increase, increase. Yes.
He blew our mind. Women came from all over. We've honored Tabitha Brown, Egypt Sherrod, Tammy Franklin, Karen Boykin Towns, the chairman of the NAACP. Many women from all over, some celebrity. Everybody is not celebrity because it was intentional. That's why the magazine says inspiration for the everyday woman, because the everyday woman was the one that was going unrecognized,
right?
Because people were, if it's not so-and-so, if it's not Beyonce, blah, blah. And nothing wrong with that. I don't have any problem whatsoever with Beyonce, but there are more Cheryls and Lisas and Tracys than there are celebrities. So right. I said, I'm going to use that space to recognize women. So the luncheon is all set for 2026. It's on March the 20th of 2026. I've already received 11 yeses from the 17 women that I've asked this year. They're from all over the country. Okay. And this theme is dreamers, believers, and visionaries, dreamers, and believers.
Yes.
That's the theme for this year. So I'm super excited about that because the magazine by that time will be going into its 5th year. This will be the 4th Cheryl Magazine luncheon, and then the 4th year for my C-suite retreat, which is in Costa Rica this year.
Yes, ma'am. Listen, I'm loving everything that you are doing. You are all inspiring. I don't know. It just seems like once someone is able to tap into that authenticity and that, just like you said, just live out loud, be courageous, and see no fear, have no fear. It does. It opens up so many more doors, so many more pathways. And the fact that you're able to do that for the everyday women who don't get the recognition that they deserve, whether they're mothers or, daughters or sisters, maybe they're, like you said, not a Beyonce, but the Lisa or the Cheryl who is just, I work a corporate job, but I do it well while raising my family and motivating my husband, the many hats that we wear as women.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful thing. It is definitely a beautiful thing. Let me ask you. So the name of my show, Synoria's Best Kept Secret. I just want to kind of ask you, are there any secrets that you can share, or maybe just any gems that you can drop that you've kind of learned across these different areas of business that you're able to share?
Absolutely. So one thing I want people to realize is that you should never live so deeply in other people's dreams that you never fulfill any of your own.
Yes.
That's
the word. Yes.
Second thing, learn how to clap for yourself. Stop waiting on the world to clap for you and tell you you can do it. You have to know that you can do it for yourself, because this I can tell you, I don't care how great you are, how much people tell you they love you. People will turn on you in a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
If you walk in the room and everybody is paying attention to you and they're not paying attention to them, it's only so much that some people can take that. Trust me when I tell you, because I live it all the time.
Yep.
Everybody is not comfortable when your light is shining brighter than theirs. And that's unfortunate, but you are not responsible to make people feel comfortable. because your light is shining. Get
Yes.
those people some sunshades and keep shining.
Yes, I love. Listen, you don't play. You
No,
don't play. Look, you know how we all have, those aunties or those. Listen, auntie, you
yeah,
don't play with them.
I'm your new auntie. That's
Yes, you don't
yeah,
play
I
with them
know.
because I can already tell.
Yeah,
And the fact that you're able to back it up, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Because, like you said, some people can talk game, but when you're able to show what you're able to do and you're doing it,
yes.
a whole nother level. A
That's
whole
what my kids say. My daughters, they say, "Oh, mama, I have never seen receipts like these." And then my youngest daughter, she said, "Oh, sometimes you just got to pop out and show them."
a little Kendrick Lamar in there. I know that's right. And that's exactly what you are doing. You are showing them, you are showing me, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it all. Just to wrap up, was there anything else that you wanted to cover this evening?
I just want people to live their best life boldly, fiercely, and unapologetically. Do not allow your past to stifle you. I often tell people let me remind them. I'm like, sweetie, you don't have to remind people of their past. They lived it.
Right.
They don't need you to remind them what they did in college or that they went bankrupt 5 times. If they went bankrupt, they remember. Yeah. So I just want people to be comfortable with yourself and your brilliance. Realize that validation is for parking. It is not for people.
Yes.
Period.
Enough. Yes.
And that's what I want to say on that. I hope that our conversation has encouraged some people to live their best life, to do the things that you are called to do and purpose to do. And it does not matter if it's 10 people doing the thing that you want to do, because this I know, nobody can do it like me. There are speakers, there are people who are writing books. Nobody can write my book like me. Nobody can speak like me. Nobody can do this interview like me. Just imagine if Rihanna had said, "Oh, I'm not going to do a beauty brand." She wouldn't be a billionaire. Oh, because of L'Oreal. So I just want to encourage people to do the thing. Get the information. Take less notes and take more action.
Yes, ma'am. Execute. I love that. And on that note, it's been a pleasure having you here. I hope we'll be able to connect in the future. And you all, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to Synoria's Best Kept Secret. Until next time, goodbye.